in wintertime, like when you shake people's hands, like Russians don't mind shaking hands with people. Like that's just kind of a common thing we do, just like in here. But Russians are very obsessed about cleanliness. So, for example, in the wintertime, when you go and shake somebody's hand, even if it's -40 outside, which it often is in the winter, they won't shake your hand with their gloves on. They will take off their gloves and then shake your hand, and then put their hands back in the gloves, because that's just rude. You don't shake hands with your gloves. Your gloves are dirty. Your gloves have been touching, the dirt, your clothes. So, but your hands are clean. So they'll do that. If their hands are dirty, instead of shaking hands with you, they're like touch your elbow. They'll make you grab like their forearm type of thing. You have to make sure that you're using the proper form of you. There's the polite form and then like the informal form. And so you always should be using polite form where you're talking to people like that you don't know, especially older people. Russians, when you're doing tracting, they have 2 doors in their apartments. They have a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick steel door, and then they have a regular wood door behind it. So when you knock on the door, they will open up the wood door, but they won't open up the steel door. And then they'll ask, who is it? And then you have to try and yell through a steel door, who it is, what you're doing. Same thing as that Russians don't have houses, they have the apartment buildings. In order to get in, they have the electronic door codes. So what you have to do is you have to dial in an apartment, and you call them, and then you're talking through this little, like machine on the door, and they have to let you in, and then you can go up and, knock on their apartment or other people's apartments. And in terms of do's and don'ts, another cultural thing, Russians, when they talk, they're very close. You get very, very close to each other. They don't have a concept really of personal bubble. So like you will be almost nose to nose to people sometimes when you're talking to them on the street, and that's just fine. That's just how they are. They don't like talking from distances. They will get really up in your face as they talk.